everybody. Happy Thursday. It is I, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seeby. Happy Thursday, everybody. And today is part of our creative writing series, in a series that we like to call Picture This. What is Picture This? Picture This is when I show you an image, a picture, a photograph. Sometimes it's a painting, sometimes it's a drawing. And you have to look at that image and come up with either a poem, but primarily a song chorus, a chorus to a song. See, the reason I always like to write choruses is because they're the hardest thing to write for a song. The choruses are always the hardest to do. For me, anyway. I don't know for you, but for me, they're always the hardest. The hook is the most important part of the song. So I figure if I write the hook, I can write the other parts. I can write the beginning, and then I can write the second verse and the bridge. You know, because the chorus is always the one that remains the same throughout the song. So if you write that and it's really good and catchy, chances are you'll be okay throughout the, you can come up with the verses, whatever. But anyway, I'm not always the most creative sometimes, and this exercise is really good for, developing your imagination skills. Like I always say it like this, like if you were watching a movie, right? A movie you've never seen before, and then suddenly you were to pause that movie. Let's say someone in the movie is about to open a door and you pause it. Look at that picture of that person about to open that door. You don't know what's behind that door. You've never seen this movie before. So you have to guess what's going to happen. But it's got to be, the story's got to be sort of poetic. So that's your job, to be like sort of poetic, in a songwriting way, in a songwriting format. Like it can't just be like whimsically like a poem. I'd rather you try to really write a chorus. Don't worry about it rhyming in the beginning. Just write your idea down first. Look at the picture. Write down what it makes you think about. Write all those down as points, and then start to, bring that imagination in. And then really start looking at, get emotionally connected to that photograph, and then start writing things down, and then think about words that just jump out at you looking at it. And some of those words might end up being the words that you use in the exercise. And why do we do this exercise? That's that's the $1 million question. And the the $10 answer is we do this because we're not always creative. We're not always feeling the most creative. I know I'm not always, Sometimes I'm really creative and I want to write a bunch of stuff. And other times you could put a gun to my head and I couldn't write a couple words sewn together. So you have to sometimes learn how to jumpstart your creativity. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, these are little Jedi mind tricks to kind of help you along with getting your mind in tune so that you can be creative, We have done this in class in Performing Arts Studio S many times, where we have a big TV screen in the front room, a big giant TV screen, and I would like put on the screensaver. Like there's Google Images that come up, like on the screensaver, and they'll just show like a still photograph for like 3 minutes, sometimes faster, maybe a minute and a half, and then another one pops up, and then another one pops up. Sometimes it's all different, it could be a balloon, a red balloon in a, in a blue sky, and another time it's a misty river, and then other times it's, it could be a million. The Grand Canyon, aerial views of Ireland. There's all different ones. Sometimes I'll show you guys a painting. Maybe like a black and white photograph or a drawing. Even a sketch. And It doesn't matter what it is, as long, you know, and you have to look at that and kind of draw out what it says to you. And like I say this every week, there's no wrong way to do this at all. This is your, you know, this is your universe. You're the boss of this. So I don't care if it was a picture of a lollipop and you think about an airplane, because one time when you were on an airplane, you ate a lollipop. That's entirely up to you. Whatever you think about with that image, that's on you. There's no wrong way. There's no, I'm not going to say, no, that's wrong. This is your world. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the image. So here we go. Check out the image. So that's the picture. It's like an out of focus man holding an umbrella, black and white. There's like a tree there. It's very cool, very thought-provoking. I just thought it was a cool picture. It kind of jumped out at me on the canvas, and I thought, that is really a neat image. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote for it, okay? So, you know, when I first started, I won't tell you yet, but I'm going to explain to you what I saw when I first saw it. That image to me just looked like somebody that wanted to be by themselves, to be alone, you know? I know that when I'm alone or when I want to be by myself, I reflect on things, you know? And then, of course, my imagination goes wild. You know, I start imagining the story beyond the photograph. Like I said before, like if you were to pause a movie right when someone's opening a door, you have to write about what's going to happen next. Well, looking at that photograph, that's exactly what I do. I look at that photograph and I think, what is that person thinking about? Or if this was like a still life image paused, what would be going on? You know, so I'm going to read you what I wrote. So I wrote this. I don't want to come back to a broken home. If that was love that we had, then I just want to be alone. I don't want to come back to a broken home. If that was love that we had, I just want to be alone. Be alone. So that's mine. That's what I wrote for it. You know, I was picturing somebody leaving a house, walking away, and it's raining out, and, you know, this person just has to be by themselves and walk away for a minute because, you know, there's too much chaos back there. And I'd rather, if that's your idea of love back there, nah, I'd rather be by myself, you know? And I have felt that in real life. So like when I look at images, a lot of times it makes me think of things that have happened in my life previously. So, you know, I deal with, when I look at images or anytime I'm writing, I'm trying to be creative. I think about things that have happened to me in my life personally, on a personal level, and I try to make it relate to things that have happened to me because I'm sure there's millions of people out there that have been through some of the same kind of things as me. You know, everyone feels things differently. Like I can't measure someone else's amount of pain or happiness or sorrow. But I can only gauge people's emotional scales on how I feel when things happen to me. Well or tragically or funny or sad or whatever it is, you know. So, like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. And I can't wait to see what you guys wrote based on that image, you know. That's what I wrote. And, of course, tomorrow, I'm going to write a melody for this. So, until we meet tomorrow, that is all the time that we have tonight. This is your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend Joe Sebi signing off. I hope you enjoyed this exercise, and like I said, I can't wait to see what you wrote for this. All right, guys, until tomorrow when we write a melody for this, I will see you tomorrow. Sleep well. I love you. Peace.